pick of the slack, yeah, yeah. Run me the back, I'm good with that, I'll get it back, yeah, yeah. Looking for me, I'll be right here, right here. But you too busy switching sides, yeah. It's time to get on my back, run up.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to another client tutorial, and we jump straight into it. As you can see, I use my flesh tone color wheel, and what this does, it helps me understand what color I need to correct any imperfections on her skin and add to her foundation if need to be. So I clip back her hair so there's no hair in the way, and I'm taking a small concealer brush that's angled, and I'm just patting in that orange concealer. And this is a MAC concealer. I will leave all of the products I use down in the description box. And I switch brushes to now blend out the edges of that, and this was more of a dense concealer brush. So this, I'm going in with her foundation. I am using our CMA cream foundation, and I matched her skin tone, and I'm applying it with a damp beauty blender. So now I'm going to go in with some concealer with a flat concealer brush and apply that to the inner corner of her eye and the outer corner, shaping the angle her eye is going. And this gives it a more lifted and tight, pulled back look. After blending out that first concealer that I put down on my client, I went ahead with some more concealer, a little bit lighter, and just put it in the inner part of her eye just to brighten up her look and give it more full coverage. And this is the layer that really made it look like butter. It looked so smooth and so good. So yeah, this is optional. You can go ahead and set it if you like it with just one layer. But I wanted this to be a full coverage look, but it looked natural. So now that I blended out that concealer, I'm going in with my sponge pad. What is this called? A pad sponge? The powder puff. Sorry, the powder puff the triangular one, and I'm going in with my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder in number 4 and in number 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the Morphe brow pencil in chocolate mousse. I brushed her eyebrows up, and then I'm going to start at the tail of her brow, work my way in the inner part of her brow, and just carve the brow out. And I purposely didn't speed up this because, you guys, this do take time. You know, stop, look at your work, take a step back to see how it's looking. You know, work on the other one so you're not overdoing one brow. Come back at them, make sure they meet, and, you know, just take your time. Take your time, do the brows, and doing hair-like strokes, not heavy strokes.
What? Beat music.
So now I'm going in with the powder puff that I used for under her eye, and I'm taking MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in dark. And I'm patting that into her skin, all over her face, to give her that airbrush look and set that cream foundation that we placed previously. And that this is really like how you mold everything together. Your powder should work as your transition in between where you apply product, and then you go in with that same colored facial powder and put that color back in. Now I'm going with the Black Radiance contour from the, I think it's from the deepest to the darkest, or medium to dark, and I'm using that brown shade to go in the hollows of her cheeks, forehead, and jawline to give her dimension. So now I'm gonna go ahead and contour her nose with that same Black Radiance contour shade that I used for the perimeter of her face. And I went down the sides of her nose and into her crease to help carve it out and prepare the eyeshadows that I'm going to place in that area so that it blends beautifully. Now, instead of using concealer to go under her eyebrow, I'm using e.l.f. HD setting powder to highlight under her eyebrow. So instead of using concealer, I use a transition powder. Then I went in with some blush to apply it. I'm sorry, not to apply it. I went in with some blush on her cheek to put some color back into her skin. You know, I took out that red pigment out of it. So yeah, I'm just kind of correcting everything and touching it up and blending it. Now I'm going to take that same powder puff and use Sasha's Buttercup setting powder and apply that under her eye. And I'm going to bake her under eye, and this will also act as a protector for my eyeshadow fallout. Now that base you see me putting down on her is P. Louise base in number 3. And I applied that to the lid only to help make the shadow that I'm going to put on stand out more, and the pigment that I'm going to apply, it'll help it adhere. And I'm having her hold a fan so that it can dry. So I'm taking a darker, I think this is like a plum purple type of color from MAC. I can't remember what's the name of the shade. But you could take a dark brown shade or any color, your base shade, your darker shade, and make like dots on the eye, like as you saw in the video. And then go ahead and blend it out with a lighter shade. And I use soft brown to blend it out. I'm taking my fluffy brush and I'm just going in and blending everything, making sure that it is seamless. And I'm going back in and adding color to the crease and darkening up and blending, and just going back and forth with my shades and my brushes. I'm using the same ones. I'm just rotating and cleaning as I go. And yeah, it's basically self-explanatory. So I'm going ahead, I'm going in with my pigment. I'm using this eyelash protector to help that pigment not get everywhere. And I'm taking my time and applying that pigment to her eyelid. And being very careful because it's very lightweight. And I had her hold her head back so that the pigment wouldn't fall over too much. And then this time I had her hold it, and then I smudged the pigment, and it works way better. And in one swoop, there it was. And I just blended the edges out, and it came out so pretty, guys. Love it. So now I'm going in with that same eyeshadow I used for her transition shade, and I'm going in at her waterline. Well, not her waterline, like right underneath that waterline, and smudging her lower lash line out. Just give it a more sultry look, but I didn't want it to overdo her under eye smokiness. I just wanted it to be settled. So I used a fine, thinner brush and smudged that all over her lower lash line. And I took my time and filled in the gaps where it needed to be, add shadow, you know, and yeah.
Trying at the same shit. Kinda tired, tryna give a fuck. Saving grace has never hit the same end. I've been running out of luck.
So from this point on, you'll see me touch up everything that I already did with blush. I took eyebrow powder by Anastasia and touched her brows. I lined up her lips, and I used 2 glosses from Sephora. And I used a highlighter from Cover FX. And that's it. And everything else, you'll see me touching up, reapplying. I dust away the setting powder with a clean brush. I did her setting spray. So yeah, I'll go ahead and let you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.
YB Music. On me, but I'm taking all the shots now. Hit the try to bring me down, like getting boxed down. Thought you had it all together, you were lost. It's time to get in my bag, wanna protect, take the slack, yeah, yeah. Run me the back, I'm good with that, I'll get it back, yeah, yeah.